All right. Good morning. How's the sound? Are we good with the sound this morning? Let me know. Stream quality should be dialed in. No real update to what we discussed yesterday into the close. Overnight action, pretty slow, right? Pretty tight range there within the prior day's range. What we really want to see for today is how price is going to be trading versus essentially that afternoon base. We have that wide base from yesterday, right? And so buyers, bulls, if they are really going to be showing up today and defending this structure, I would consider yesterday's low as a must hold level. And the reason is the logic there. If you zoom out onto your hourly chart, let's kind of rescale this so you could see it a little bit better here, but you should be able to see this on your own hourly chart as well. Then you take a look at the prior structure right through here, right? Prior range, price breaks out, goes into another range. You get the breakout. This was that big gap higher day. We have the what I call the gap and crap session right through there. That marks a local high, right? Price comes into a near-term downtrend. Now, the point I was making is that yesterday's low support was found there near this prior range high. So on the intermediate term, when I say intermediate, I mean past couple of weeks, we do still have buyers in control following the change of character from a few weeks ago during this session right through here. Price pushes into an uptrend, series of pretty significant higher lows, right? If this most recent higher low right through here, Friday, September 20th gets taken out, which is essentially right around yesterday's low, we're going to start to see a larger technical breakdown. And so again, buyers, just kind of circling back, buyers need to defend yesterday's low and ideally show that push up and through 20K. If we see continued weakness versus 20K and then a failure down through here at the prior day low, you want to be really cautious with any sort of long setup. So that's going to be the early watch. Again, want to see what the appetite for risk is here early in the sesh, whether or not buyers are able to defend that afternoon base from yesterday. We do that blue zone right through here. That's that key area of support, right down into the prior day low. So I'll be treating this area all as key support until it's not, right? It's support until it's not, support until it fails. So until we have proof of that area actually failing, it gets treated as a major area of support. So that's kind of the main watch here on NQ. We have about 1 minute until the open. Price currently sits on the prior day volume point of control. I was more so looking for some action versus that 20K level right near the open. Sitting on this reference point, our nearest level of interest is down into 19,900. And then you have the pre-market low reference point right through there as well. Per usual, we want to see how this intraday structure builds out. No rush off the open, right? And speaking of which, we have the open here in about 40 seconds. Now, ES, you do have a pretty similar structure. I don't have enough time to jump into this right now, but the structure is exactly the same. If you zoom out, you'll see that key area of support being tested and held, which was the prior resistance zone from Tuesday, September 17th. So just using the basics of support and resistance here, as well as market structure to kind of guide us as we do every single day. Now let's see this open here in a few seconds. There's the open. Prior day volume point of control, nearest reference point here. So there's some weakness, starting off with some weakness. Off of the open there, we do have a small gap, very small gap, still in that prior day's range, but a small gap there, coming into 19,900. No 10 a.m. data today, but we do have a full morning of Fed speak. So keep an eye on those news feeds. Buyers stepping in there. See if they can break VWAP and then hold up and through VWAP. There's your new high of day on NQ. So that opening 5-minute bar has about one more minute. So far, it's just a doji. Big doji. No real direction. And we are in the middle of that overnight range. There's that 5-minute chart, 5-minute regular trading hours. Price sitting right there at prior day volume point of control. Directionless. No direction off of the open here. There it is. Closes as pretty much a doji. See if we get a test of that 900 area. Should give us some more clues. There's your new low of day for NASDAQ, for NQ. Coming into 900 here. You have 900 and then the pre-market low down into 875. Got S&P is also almost into that pre-market low, that prior day low area. For ES, that was. Retesting prior day volume point of control there. New low being made. NQ, new low. ES, not quite there yet. Not quite into the lows for ES. And NQ, your next reference point here, pre-market low, overnight low, 875 area. There's your pre-market low, just shy of it. There's your undercut of the pre-market low. So if this area fails, we did see some support in that 860 area from yesterday, but the bigger level at play here is the prior day low. Prior day low. There's your next 5-minute bar, but getting ready to close here. Pretty bearish. That second 5-minute bar of the sesh. Back into 900 there. Back into the 19,900 level of interest. So buyers are attempting to force that spring play of that overnight action. See if they are successful or not. Some more sellers showing up there versus 900. And back into the lows. So now we have a series of lower highs off of the open. And that opening 15-minute bar closes in about 3.5 minutes. Pretty bearish so far, that opening 15-minute bar. See how it closes up. ES puking. Let's have a look. Yeah, with that prior day low gone. Let's see that structure. Yeah, you have a higher time frame breakdown here if price holds below prior day low. Very similar to that NQ structure we discussed. Flip to your hourly chart. Coming into that big unfilled gap. Same one we have on NQ. So prior day low and that 5730 area. Key watch for ES. There's NQ following suit almost into the prior day low now. Staying patient here, personally. Keep an eye on that 15-minute bar. Closes here in 1 minute. Quite bearish. NQ main watch now is reaction into prior day low. Prior day low, key level of interest. There's your 15-minute bar closure. Take a look at that. So we'll see the reaction here near the prior day low. See if support actually fails or not. Then ES, you want to keep an eye on that 5730. 5730, 5733. Little three-point range there. Key zone for the S&P. NQ, I'll need to see either something very, very compelling down into prior day low, or intraday, some sort of change of character with a market structure based play, or the other scenario would be higher time frame reversal signal, something on the 15-minute or the 5-minute at the very least. As of right now, just sitting on hands. Spend the playbook for that opening 15 to 30 minutes the past couple of weeks. Just wait. Just wait. There's ES. So buyers now. Buyers must defend that 5730 area. Good looking bounce. So if that's going to be like a higher time frame spring, then the lows must hold. NQ retest in pre-market low. So far, support has held on NQ. No break of support just yet. Now let's see if we get some sort of market structure to work with. Yeah, that looks like a trap to me. That undercut of the 5730, bring in some new shorts. Load them into the spring. ES into VWAP here. Look at that 5-minute on ES. There's NQ up through 900. So we'll see if we get an entry. See if any type of entry comes. I'm sure there's people chasing this, but I can't do that. So we wait. We wait. NQ up and through the 900, just shy of VWAP there. Yeah, the spring was a little cleaner in ES just because you have those higher time frame structures. NQ for me, that's still a hold of support because it never broke the prior day low. But let's see this reaction at VWAP here. Got the prior day volume point of control right there as well. 10 minutes till 10 a.m. No data. No data at 10. Some sellers there versus VWAP. Not all that surprising given the magnitude of the move. So let's see 900 now. If we get any sort of higher low to work with. What's ES doing? Yeah, ES holding pretty nicely. $30 yeah. If we get a hammer there, that'd be nice. We shall see. ES working on that session high. 57.50, your upside level of interest there in ES. Buyers here on NQ need a break of that VWAP area, prior day volume point of control. Would really help this setup here. Well, we got about 6 minutes till 10 a.m. More sellers versus that VWAP area on NQ. So if 900 fails here, you're looking at a retest down into pre-market low. NQ is bumping into all the volume from this structure. You can see that volume point of control through there. Prior day volume point of control, as well as the overnight session volume point of control. And 4 minutes till 10. No data, but always worth keeping an eye on that 10 a.m. 10 a.m. time for that opening 30-minute candle. As of right now, it's got a big tail below it. NQ retesting that VWAP area. 930, 19,930. Should start to see that session vol. It's going to be a little ways actually. But we have that high volume node kind of building out here near 915. NQ back into that 930. Needs a break at 930 right here. Just consolidating now. And if it can break and hold that 930, you're probably looking at the session high up into 966. ES in that consolidation pattern as well. Difference is ES is actually above VWAP. Volume really tapered out there. Not all that surprising after that big push. And we talk about expansion, contraction on all time frames. Must be almost 10. The tape has really sped up here. So 30-minute did not close green. It does have that big tail though. So far today, that test of support is held. That is what we know. There's NQ back into that 930. If buyers can actually hold here, like I said, you're looking at session high. Price still struggling with this 930 area. Session volume point of control there. There we go. Nice push. And there is just shy of the session high. If you have any longs, you probably want to tighten those trails. Not bad, not bad. Not my favorite kind of action, but there we go. New high of day. I took the entirety of my play off. There's the play. So the logic here was wait for buyers to show up. Like I said prior, buyers show up, not going to chase the move, right? Need some market structure. You get the higher low at the 900. Now, I did not love that action there between 900 and VWAP. So I took a good portion off. And then next target was for the session high once it actually resolved higher. All out now. So now higher time frames show us that support is holding, but we're still within that overnight range. Still within that kind of prior day base. That prior afternoon structure here, right? Price has not yet resolved out of that. So far what we have is an inside day. What you can do is you can take a fib from yesterday's move. Give yourself some additional reference points if you like. So the 38% fib is already aligned with our 20K level of interest in the pre-market high. If price continues with strength above the current session high, that's your next target zone. And then really up into here, you have the confluence of the 50% retracement, the 0.75 level of interest, and the 61% retracement. So we've got some pretty clear structure points to be working with. Support is holding, so until that breaks, like I said before the actual session, we want to treat that area as support until it actually fails. So we'll see if we get another entry. Dom, you caught that move? Nice. Yeah, I like when those structure plays align with a reference or even better, a level of interest. Doesn't get much better than that. Back into session volume point of control, all that volume there from 930 as well as VWAP. What's ES doing? Let's take a look. So ES made a fresh session high as well. Look at your 15-minute here. Oh, that's the hourly, excuse me. That same type of deal. So far, there's a higher time frame spring. On ES, it undercut that prior day low. And buyers just stepped in heavy, heavy, heavy. That's what you like to see on a spring trade, by the way. You want price to show you clearly that people are trapped. Market participants are offsides. So NQ now above all that volume, above that prior day volume point of control. Buyers need to hold this area. Otherwise, just looking at a retest down into 900. See if buyers can make a fresh session high here. Some struggle there. Session volume point of control has moved up into 950 now. Or is getting ready to. There we go. See if a new high is made. If you're still riding any longs from 900, you want to raise that trail to just below 930. It's your next significant intraday market structure point. Tried that higher low long. Not much follow through. I was looking for the session high and just trailed it there. Not a trade I want to give a lot of breathing room on. Location here is not my favorite. I like to see price resolve this structure. Don't love taking longs into near-term resistance personally. There's that high. There it is. There's the push. There's your session high, just shy of on NQ. Trading, one of the only professions where you'll make money and say bummer. Fascinating. Fascinating one. Gotta love it. Yeah, it is a regret business. The sooner you can kind of just settle into the framework and not let those emotions run the show, understand there's a long game, the better off you'll be. Yeah, 20K is your next upside level. Yep. That's also the gap fill area. Small gap lower. Take a look at your regular trading hours chart. A little tiny gap right through there. not the cleanest action, and we do have Fed speak today, so just make sure you're managing those trades accordingly, right? Keep the environment in mind, keep the terrain in mind. Don't get sloppy. Remember the near-term structure, right? We are at support, but near-term has shown us sellers are here. Where will they show up again? That's the question. Is it 20K? Could be. But these are things to keep in mind. You don't want to lose sight of the big picture structure. My trade 30 for 30 entry is most likely going to be that higher low at the 19,900. Personally. NQ did not technically make a fresh session high following that bounce from VWAP. And coming back here into VWAP in that session volume point of control area. Yeah, near term still downtrend. Near term still downtrend, intermediate term bullish. So a little bit of time frame misalignment. I'm working on a write-up to describe this framework in more detail that I'll be posting in the resources tab. Hopefully sometime this weekend. Because I do think a lot of the missteps that traders have is with higher time frame analysis and multiple time frame analysis. That was like the last one of the last puzzle pieces for me personally. Just bringing that higher time frame analysis into the mix. Which is why I spend so much time focusing on it, talking about it, reviewing it. Well, I don't even know. That's the thing. I don't even really like you only kind of, at least for me, the frameworks kind of come to mind, and like the ease of explaining it comes to mind after you see, at least in this case, like the clients I work with or in the trading mentorship group, a lot of the A lot of the same kind of repeat mistakes. And it's like, oh, once you see that, it becomes more obvious. So it's not like I'm intentionally withholding anything. So we'll get that written up soon. NQ making a fresh high day here. Challenge is still, like, look at the overnight action, right? We know there's a lot of sellers sitting through here, just from the prior day structure and then the overnight. This definitely could be a range day. If you start to see some rejection at 20K, I'd expect more of a range day. Well, let's see here. I've got no trade on right now, just cash. Just cash. If I had more conviction in the location, I'd probably still be holding that second entry. But those are the two trades. Still got the runner. Nice. Nice. Man. There's 20K. NQ 20K. Big level. Pre-market high there at 010. 20,010. Overnight gap is filled. Nice trade, Dom. Look forward to seeing that one in the trade 30 for 30. See that right up. I saw your post yesterday. It was at like 1 a.m. Haven't had a chance to read that yet. So now we're looking at the reaction into 20K, this overnight high area. There's a break of the overnight high. Do we see a rejection here? A little overshoot, then a pullback, another market structure type of entry? Or are buyers able to show acceptance above this 20K level? Grab that higher low, nice. Nice, nice, nice. There's your initial rejection there, the overnight high. Not all that surprising. So the question now is, does price settle into an intraday range? Do we just have a neutral range bound day, sideways range bound day, or does another higher low set up to then break the 20K? Now, this is where you can get caught in market structure plays. If you see another higher low set up and it ends up being a range day, you take the next higher low after a big rejection at 20K. So be cautious. Be cautious. Quality of setup. Yeah, I'm with you, Benny. That would be one of the easier trades. A break of 20K, a nice extension move higher, and then a pullback into 20K that holds. Much like what we saw earlier today, right? You'd like to see a big extension move above your level of interest. It's like 900 into 930. So 30-point extension move above, pullback, signal. There's your entry. Trim some into the high. Go for your next level. Basics. Stop is down here, right? So there's your rejection of the 20K. Not all that surprising. If you're wanting to ride the near-term bearish action, that would be your short entry right up there. It's like a up thrust, good signal bar, and you would want to be trimming some into this area. Grab the short, nice. That was clean. That was a clean one. There you go. Back to green on the day. Yeah, so the price kind of setting up what I was just discussing here. You have the higher low in kind of a weaker location. So those types of higher lows can trap a lot of traders. I tend to pass on those. And it's not to say they can't work. A lot of trades, a lot of setups are going to be lower quality and they're going to work. This is one of the challenging things about trading. But can you be okay with passing on them? I've been trapped in that type of thing one too many times. It becomes easier to pass on. Market teaches you. Keep an eye on your 15-minute as well. Pretty big rejection there. Still has 5 minutes before it closes, but big wick. Current location kind of dictates my approach for right now. Like we were talking about earlier, I prefer to see some action above 20K with a market structure sort of entry, or maybe a retest into 900 or potentially the session low. If it's going to be a true range day, that's definitely not out of the question. As of right now, 2 for 2 with plus 60 NQ on the sesh. So goal at this point, don't want to push my luck with subpar setups. That is the goal. How's everyone's morning? How's the morning? Let me know. See if I could set up another quick poll here. pretty nice. There we go. Green, working my way back to green. Solid. So NQ with that market structure trade back into 20K here. Not a setup you'll really ever find me in personally. Just watching the river today. Nice. Much better than yesterday. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Those big sells that we see off the open that just continue past 10 a.m. Typically just want to stay cash in the morning personally, and then come back late morning, like almost like early afternoon. See what kind of setups you can find. So 20K on watch again. $75% green, 70% green. Solid. Only around for the open. It's fair enough. Fair enough. Just got to get good at identifying those conditions that are not favorable to what you want to see, and then just taking that no trade day. Looks like ES gave a nice retest of VWAP there that held with level of interest confluence. I would consider that pretty much an A+ trade. Just shy of the highs there. You want to make sure you're protecting profits if you grab that. That 15-minute bar we were talking about was entirely negated. It did look bearish. This is why you don't do that analysis before the bar closes. It's okay to talk about it, right? Get an early look, but don't be making trade decisions before that bar closes. We had that big wick and it just closes massively bullish. Open to 11:30. Yeah, that's a good time frame. I would agree with you there. Kind of take lunch, like avoid midday low, but we have been seeing, especially like a session like yesterday, we have been seeing a lot of decent setups in the kind of the early afternoon. Like not quite into power hour, but after midday lull, after that lunch hour. Once the intraday structure is more developed, I would say. Yeah, context has a big impact on it. Like yesterday, like we talked about the big sell. Typically that a big sell like we saw yesterday is not gonna, I mean, there are the occasions you see the V-shaped recovery, but typically it needs some sort of base. And so once you have that late morning range or that late morning base, those can usually be tradable. And that was exactly what we saw yesterday. NQ just shy of the highs now. Just shy of the highs there. New high of day. New high of day. So I like the extension move that then comes and retests. And then you can go for the 075 level of interest on NQ. ES just shy of the highs as well. Nice push there. So buyers defended support. That's kind of the theme this morning. Now working their way out of that prior day base, that prior day structure, which again, that tells us that most likely this action was accumulation. We do want to see, as far as big picture is concerned, we want to see a break of this, a break and hold of this area. So that's your next upside target. Be cautious because, like I said, it's been a pretty strong morning, but buyers are not out of the woods yet. Just zoom out. Zoom out. We have big support through here, right? But remember your near term. Near term is a downtrend. And it all started with last Thursday. So rescale this a little bit. Rescale a little more. There you go. Thursday, gap and crap. This is a retest of essentially your 50% retracement of that big gap and crap day. And then it's just a series of lower highs from that point. Big washout yesterday, right? This is still a lower high until it's broken. But we do have that intermediate term support. So it's a little tricky. Little bit tricky. ES really nice. Nice trap. Love those traps. That's a proper spring play right there. Undercut the lows and just explosive push higher. So game plan right now, look for that reaction here at 20K. Ideal scenario for me would be extension move above that gives a clean retest. Like I like a proper extension move above this pre-market high that then comes and retests. This current action, I wouldn't really call that enough of an extension personally, especially with some of this prior day resistance through here, right? So let's see, like something like that. You could trade it up into here. That would be kind of the next best play to watch for. Otherwise, if we continue to see some rejection through here, I'd look at this area or down into here. If it's going to be a neutral day, which just means range, right? If we kind of see just continued action like this. We do have later this week, it's already Wednesday, wow. But we do have some bigger economic prints later this week. We have NFP on Friday. So that's going to be big. And then tomorrow, I think we have something else. Let me look. Yeah, tomorrow we have jobless claims. So the big one's NFP Friday. NFP. See some more weakness there versus 20K. So I think this needs some time. I'm going to go ahead and shut down the stream here. We'll keep it going in the Traders Think Tank as always. Thank you guys for jumping in. Thanks for your time. I appreciate it. The main watch as of right now is the 20K. We've got a pretty good game plan here for the late morning, if you're going to be trading the late morning. And I'll share any updates as needed in the Traders Think Tank. But otherwise, it's just like watching paint dry here. Volume's really tapering down. So, hope you had a good morning. If you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out. I can't read your mind, so if you're struggling and you don't tell anyone, that's on you. That is on you. Get those trade 30 for 30 entries posted, and I'll see you guys in the room. Take care.